Welcome to Go Beyond Busy, the podcast for business owners who want to move from constant firefighting to calm, structured growth. In this episode, Christine Abela speaks with Tim Niewand from Informed Lean Solutions in Melbourne, Australia. Tim shares what he learned the hard way in his first year of business. If you explain what you do in your language instead of your client's language, it simply will not land. He talks about refining his messaging, adjusting his capability statement multiple times, and learning how customers actually think. You will also hear a clear explanation of lean thinking, the TIMWOODS framework for identifying waste in any process, and how continuous improvement, or Kaizen, applies far beyond manufacturing. If you have ever felt that your business could run more smoothly, but you're not sure where to start, this conversation will give you practical insight and a new way to look at your processes. Here is Christine with Tim Niewand.
Hi, I'm Christine from Go Beyond Busy. I'm here with Tim Niewand, who is from Informed Lean Solutions, and he's in Melbourne, Australia. How are you today, Tim?
I'm good, Christine. Thanks for having me. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. So tell me, what's something that you've learned about running a business that you wish you'd known earlier?
Well, one of the big things I'd say that I've learned when running my own business is how my clients think. And I'm going to unpack that a little bit for you because I think that's really important when it comes to messaging, to marketing, to capability statements, and even what your elevator pitch is. What I mean is that when you can explain what you do in words that the customer uses, then it resonates very strongly with them. So I've only started out in my business since October last year. And I've recently counted up that since then, I've updated my capability statement about 10 times in 12 months. And that's quite frequent, but I'd also suggest that as a startup, that's probably quite normal as well. What I was going through during that time was actually adjusting the wording and adjusting my offerings to make sure that it actually resonated with the customer. For instance, one of the key things that I offer in my business is process improvement. And I use the Toyota production system methodology called Lean to help clients with their process improvements. And so what we're doing there is looking for reduction of waste. So I started out initially on my website saying, eliminate your waste. And everyone thought I was a waste disposal company. I would come and bring the dump truck or even worse, pump out their septic systems. And that was definitely not the case. So I had to learn how customers would think about this without using my own language, but using theirs.
Tell me more about lean. What does that mean?
So lean is a term that came from Toyota originally, and it's how they run their businesses. And it's this continual pursuit of the elimination of waste. And when we're talking about waste, we are talking more about process waste. How do we streamline the processes that people work with? And how do we actually see some of the different wastes? When I talk to people about waste, there are 8 common core wastes that you can look at processes with to actually identify the waste. And there is an acronym for that called TIMWOODS. So the first letter in that acronym stands for transportation. So it's the waste of transporting product or goods or information from one place to another. The second one is inventory, having too much or not enough of something to work on, for instance. If you've got too much inventory, you have to store it, you have to manage it, and it could potentially go off depending on the industry that you're working in. If you don't have enough inventory, you might be sitting around and waiting. The M in TIMWOODS is motion waste, where people are physically moving from one place to another. The W stands for waiting time, and email is a classic example of that. When you hit the send button, you don't get an instant reply. You have to wait till someone checks it and then reads that email before you get a reply. There are 2 O's in the TIMWOODS. One is overproduction and the other is overprocessing. Overproduction is making more than you need to. And overprocessing is doing more work than what you need to, what your customer needs you to do. The D on the end stands for defects, and it's about having poor quality workmanship or any time where there needs to be rework done. whether that be you haven't got the requirements right or whether there's been a mistake in some work somewhere. And then lastly, the S in TIMWOODS stands for skills or talent of people, and especially unused skills and talent of people. It's a hidden waste that not many people think about, but when you can tap into it, you can see amazing results.
It sounds like this is really well suited to a manufacturing environment, but could it be used for a plumber or a retailer or some other environment as well?
It absolutely can be used in any environment, Christine. It originally did come from manufacturing, but one of the things that Toyota and others, such as the Danaher Corporation, have done is pick that out of manufacturing and put it into an office environment or put it into other environments too. Ultimately, what we're looking at here is anytime where there's a process, where there's value that's added to that process, then you can use this to see with a new set of glasses, you can use this to see the process for what it truly is.
So this is sounding a little bit like Kaizen. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that, the Japanese term. Is that something similar?
Lean has a core concept of Kaizen, and you're exactly right. Kaizen is a key part of that. And Kaizen is broken up into two parts, two characters, the Kai and the Zen. And the Kai is meaning change and Zen for the better. And when you combine the two, you get change for the better, or this whole concept of continuous improvement. And so Kaizen and Lean go together to provide this concept of continuous improvement. So you're spot on, Christine.
How does informed lean solutions help a client? What does your process look like?
So we offer 4 key things for our clients. The first thing that we offer is business coaching. The second thing we offer is operational excellence. The third thing are some growth strategies. And the fourth thing that we offer is layout optimization. Now, throughout all of those 4 things that we offer, we help with our clients to analyze their current state, to identify where the issues are that they need assistance with. And sometimes clients won't know what their issues are. So we have to actually help them flesh that out. We'll establish some measures so that we can actually use data to determine what are the key issues and what are not. And then we'll actually follow a systematic process of getting to the solution using the 5 whys and root cause methodology to actually assist clients across the way. And we're applying lean throughout all of those 4 core areas of our business.
Can you work with people who aren't in Melbourne?
So I have some clients who, believe it or not, Christine, are based in New Zealand and one in Fiji. Yes, definitely can work across borders. Before I went into business, I was doing this for a profession for global organizations and was on calls into Singapore, India, Middle East, into Africa, as well as into the Americas. And we were working remotely while mapping out processes and driving process improvement. The technology that we have these days with the internet and various the tool sets are very helpful for working across borders.
What sort of size of business do you normally work with?
So I currently have segmented it into 2 parts. So in the coaching side of my business, I'm working with businesses that are $10 million or less and typically 10 staff or less as well. But in that sort of range where I'm coaching the leaders of the business and also some of the selected senior leaders. But then for the operational excellence side of the business, that goes right up to 200 to 400 staff, even quite large businesses. Usually in those large businesses, there's areas where there is process improvement that's required, and we target in on specific key areas. And picking that out, what do we do with those? We actually run what we call Kaizen events, Christine. And you touched on Kaizen before as a mindset and a philosophy of continuous improvement. When we run a Kaizen event, we actually put multiple people together from different stakeholder groups, and you consider it like a workshop, but the key difference is we're making change before we finish. So we are focused on eliminating waste on a particular process and walking out with a changed process during that whole time.
I'm known as a business consultant, but there's a difference between business consulting and business coaching. How do you see that?
Christine, that's a great question. The way I see coaching is that I'm there walking alongside the leader and helping them in the moment, play by play, working out what it is that they need to do and offering them actionable strategies to move forward from where they are. So I think that there's probably some areas there where we can complement each other, perhaps in what we do as well, because process improvement is very much about working on the business and improving the way how the business actually works. It's a roll up your sleeves, hands-on type approach that helps people move forward with what they do. I don't come in with a silver bullet and tell them what to do, and I'll guide them through the process. They will come up with the answers, and then they're empowered to implement it as well. I would consider myself helping facilitate them through the various steps involved on that change management journey so that they can improve their business.
Thanks for joining me today, Tim. If anybody would like to have a business strategy session with me for free, then get in touch. I can be contacted through gobeyondbusy.com. I'll also put Tim's website details underneath wherever it is you're watching this podcast. So thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you, Christine. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. And I really hope that we've been able to shed some light on informed lean solutions and process waste for some of your listeners.
Thank you very much.
If this conversation with Tim has prompted you to look at your own processes differently, there may be opportunities sitting right under your nose. Christine offers a free business strategy session for business owners who want clarity around growth, systems, and working on the business rather than constantly in it. You can book your session at gobeyondbusy.com. Tim's contact details are listed below the video so you can connect with him directly. Thank you for listening to Go Beyond Busy.